President Trump signing an executive order to cut funding to public broadcasting. We're taking a look at funding that includes NPR, PBS, what they receive, the salaries, executive talent, their pay. Joining us now to discuss is Rachel O'Brien, the Deputy Public Policy Editor at OpenTheBooks.com. Thanks for joining us. Now, when you look at the big picture here, NPR and PBS, they don't get a lot of money, a lot of direct federal funding, but the truth, you say, is more complicated. Break down how much money they actually receive.
Yeah, so this executive order was just signed yesterday by the president, and it instructs the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and other federal agencies to cease federal funding to NPR and PBS and some other news organizations. So PBS's tax return shows almost $23 million from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. That's the nonprofit that directs federal funds to these media stations. So that's just over 8% of PBS's $272 million that it gets in grants and contributions. NPR looks like it gets as little as $40,000 directly from taxpayers. That's less than 1% of its $100 million that it gets in total in grants from all parties. But local radio and TV stations, they get most of the CPB's $535 million budget. They then take at least a quarter of that money, radio stations, and they use it to pay for national shows for NPR. So they pay for Morning Edition, Wait, Don't Tell Me, all the others. So NPR reported almost $100 million from those programming fees last year. So they don't just get the $40,000 directly, they get almost $100 million in taxpayer funds funneled through those local radio stations.
Well, of course, they pay some pretty big salaries to executives and big name talent, which is typical. What did you find?
Yeah, so PBS CEO Paula Kerger, she earns almost $1.2 million. 3 other PBS employees make over $500,000. Another 10 people make more than $300,000, and that's including Celia Loving. She earned almost $400,000 as the senior VP for diversity, equity, inclusion. We know the Trump administration has cut those positions. Former NPR CEO John Lansing, he made almost $600,000 when he was there. The new CEO, Catherine Mayer, she began her role midway through the year, so we don't have to pay yet, but it's probably going to be pretty high. On the talent side, like NPR's Steve Inskeep, one of the 4 rotating anchors on Morning Edition, he earned $532,000. Michael Martin, All Things Considered, makes $485,000. Peter Sagal, my favorite show, Wait, Don't Tell Me, he earns $478,000. And there's more who are making more than $400,000. So they're very well paid there.
Right. So Trump administration, where are the cuts? How did the cuts break down, and how much in assets do PBS and NPR have?
Yeah, so initially Congress was looking to cut this, and the Trump administration had encouraged them to cancel $1.3 billion in funding. Now with the executive order, I haven't seen an exact dollar figure, but it looks like all of the funding that goes to NPR and PBS, as well as lots of others, it looks like all of that funding. So PBS at the end of fiscal year 23, they had $641 million in assets. NPR at the end of the same year, $389 million in assets. And NPR's, ratings keep falling over and over. So, they have these large assets from other funds, right? People donate, they get money from elsewhere. It's not just the government. Large assets, low ratings, but they keep receiving these funds. So, and just a point of order for people who are want to defend Elmo and Cookie Monster, they moved on from the public airwaves. Their streaming home is on Max, and they're currently seeking to go to the highest bidder, a new contract with the highest bidder. So they're not even on PBS anymore.
I remember watching a lot of editorial programs on PBS that were very educational. Yep. Deputy Public Policy Editor at OpenTheBooks.com, Rachel O'Brien, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.